Today we have one of the smartest camera monitors in the market. This is the Accsoon M7H Pro. Well, it's not just a monitor. It's a monitor, a wireless transmission system, and a live streaming tool that runs on one of the most popular operating systems, Android. And as always, we're going to put it in real filmmaking scenarios to test out all the features. And by the end of this video, we're going to find out if it actually makes a difference on set, or is it just packed with features that sounds good on paper, but doesn't perform when needed. Before we start, I just want to say that Accsoon actually sent me this unit with the CineView Master 4K to test out. And they don't have saying on this video before it goes live, so they are seeing it as you're doing right now. And I am going to say everything, what worked and what needs to be improved by the end of this video. Before we get into the real use, here are the features that actually matter. This is a 7-inch 1080p monitor. It tops out at 1000 nits, which is more than enough for me, especially if you get the sunshade that comes with a cage. Of course, you have to buy that separately and it doesn't come in the box. And as you can see, it has these antennas on the top that differentiate it from the normal M7. So this unit is the M7H Pro, and there are three different units. You have the M7, the M7 Pro, and the M7H Pro. The difference between the M7 and the M7 Pro are the antennas. These antennas make this monitor a wireless transmitter. While the normal M7 doesn't come with these antennas and doesn't have any transmission features. While the Pro version can connect with any CineView transmitters, and you can use it as a transmitter and as a receiver. We're going to talk about that later, and we're going to test it in real events. Now, the difference between the M7 Pro and the M7H Pro is that the M7H Pro doesn't have SDI ports. If you can see on the back, it should have an SDI port, but this is the M7H Pro and I don't have an SDI camera. That's why I don't need the SDI ports. The key feature of this monitor is that it's factory calibrated. And whenever you open the box, you will see one very important thing, which is a calibration report. Of course, on the back, it will say that this is factory calibrated and you have to back up the calibration file because each and every monitor is calibrated separately. If you open it up, you'll see all of these charts and all of these like color checker thing and color space and pre-calibration and post-calibration, everything laid out in this report. It's a lot that's already pre-installed because this runs on Android. We'll talk about the Android features later, so stick around to watch that. So you don't have to worry about the difference in brightness and in colors between the monitor and your camera screen. The build quality of this monitor is insane. It's very robust. It comes with a bunch of inputs and outputs. It has 3 mounting points at the bottom and 1 mounting point to the side if you want to attach it to a magic arm or you want to mount it vertically. On the left side, you have 2 HDMI ports, one for in and one for out. You also have a headphone jack and a microphone jack and 5 buttons on the top next to the antennas. One of them is the power button, the next one is a home button because this is literally a tablet, and 3 function buttons that only work with the Accsoon C app. On the other side, you can find an SD card slot and a third USB-C. Now this USB-C can be used to attach an SSD. And you might ask yourself, why do we have an SD card slot and USB-C in a monitor? Of course, because it runs on Android, it has an internal memory that you can use to internally record audio and video to this monitor. This can be used to record footage if you want to send proxies or recording backup videos in case something happened to your camera. Of course, the internal recording works if you're transmitting an image onto the monitor or if you got it connected through an HDMI cable to your camera directly. You can power this monitor up using 2 MPF batteries that goes on the back. You can also use the USB-C port for power delivery, and it also has a 5-volt out. You can also power it up through DC in. This is 6 volt. You can power it with only 1 MPF battery, but this is one of the features that I like about this because if you're recording, you're live streaming, you're doing whatever you want, you can hot swap the battery while the screen is still running. Also on the back, you can find the fan. This fan will cool down the monitor if it gets hot. It is a 7-inch touchscreen, and they made it a touchscreen because it runs on Android, which is the same operating system that runs on your phone. It's not just the base, it's a fully fledged Android system that you can download apps to. The default app is the Accsoon C app that will launch when you boot it up. This is the real boot time for this. Some people would say, like, it takes time. Yes, it's an Android tablet. What would you expect? Because it runs on applications. This is the Android system running right now, and it will just boot up, give you the Accsoon logo then, it will start booting up the application, which is the Accsoon C app, which you can download on your Android and iOS devices. Using the second button on the top, whenever you click it, you'll go to the home screen and now you have an Android tablet. If you swipe up from the bottom, you will have the navigation bar same as the one that you have on your phone. And if you swipe up, you'll have the menu with the applications installed, including the Files app that you can see all the files that you internally recorded onto this monitor. I downloaded the monitor and control app. Of course, it's not as good as using something like the CineView Master transmission system with the monitor, but it's good enough if you want just to check the shots before recording, or if you want to press record wirelessly. While the Accsoon C app is the default app that we will have running at all times, even if you close it and you turn off the monitor and turn it on, it will open the Accsoon C app by default. Because it's an Android system, you can connect to Wi-Fi and Bluetooth, and that allows you to download all the firmware updates because it's just an app that gets an update. So it makes it one of the easiest monitors to upgrade and to add features, and they are doing that. And the Bluetooth feature will allow you to use your AirPods with this monitor. You can hear all the audio that's coming through the HDMI or the transmission system. So if you don't have wired headphones on you or something happened to them, you can monitor the audio from your camera directly onto your AirPods. And this is actually a dream come true for me because I would always wear my AirPods and I wish that I could use them to monitor the audio from my camera. Now let's talk a bit about the Accsoon C app. Inside of the Accsoon C app, everything is laid out very clearly. You can just switch between all the settings that you want and everything is easy to use. On the bottom of the screen, you have all the quick tools. You can add tools or remove them if you don't need them. On the far left side, you have settings button that you can adjust all the settings to all the different tools that you have. False color, waveform, histogram, zebra, peaking, punch in, de-squeeze if you're using an anamorphic lens. You can also have it to flip the image if you're using it backwards, or flip it upside down if you're mounting it upside down. On the side, you can find a couple of buttons. Now the buttons with the camera logo on are the camera control. You can control camera settings by connecting the USB-C to your camera. You can change all the exposure settings, ISO, shutter speed, aperture, and white balance. We also have two record buttons. One of them is to record in your camera and one of them is to record internally into the monitor. And the last button that you have on the left is the viewing button. If you press the play button, you will get to the Files app and you can see all the footage that you recorded. And of course, you can internally record without recording on your camera. Especially if I want BTS or something like that, I can use this monitor and internally record to an SD card. Also, as I said before, it has a live streaming feature that you can turn on and off from here. As you can see, there are no live settings if you're using it in transmission or receiving mode. You can just copy the stream key and start streaming immediately from this monitor. You can stream to Facebook, YouTube, and something called Bilibili, which I think this is like the Chinese YouTube. Or you have custom, you can put the URL and you can also put the stream key. It's very intuitive. You just set up the live stream, take the stream key, put it into this and you hit live and that's it. I've tried it on YouTube before. It works well. If I'm going to do any live streams later on my YouTube channel, I will be doing them through this monitor. And now to the most important part, the calibration. This has the 3D LUT that's used to calibrate this monitor. And you can also add your own LUTs onto this monitor through the USB-C or through an SD card. And you can also adjust the blue offset, green, red, or gamma, even with the calibration LUT on. So if you don't like them or they don't match your screens or the screens that you're going to view the footage on, you can change them inside of this monitor and you don't have to stick just to the calibration LUT. Now let's take it out to the real life and put it in real life scenarios, with the first one being documentaries. You can easily pair this monitor with the Accsoon CineView Master 4K. I have the Master 4K Lite and it works really well. I took it to a documentary which we couldn't complete because of the situation right now in Dubai, but it was an incredible tool to use whenever we are monitoring the footage, whenever I give it to a producer to see if the footage is good. They were very happy with the sharpness, the colors, and the brightness of this monitor. Going to the second real life scenario is the live streaming. We are using the YOLO box to live stream this event. Now we are at the church and we are going to live stream the service. There will be multiple cameras connected to the YOLO box. One of them will be connected through the wire, which is the FX3. This is our safety camera. We've tried it as a wireless camera. It didn't work as well. So we figured that we need one wired camera directly into the YOLO box. And we had the second camera on the other side of the church. If we come to the other side, you can see the Accsoon M7H Pro on the ZVE1, transmitting the image directly into the Accsoon CineView Master 4K. We've put it into TX or transmission mode in order to get the image transmitted from the ZVE1 into the receiver in the YOLO box. As a monitor, it's always performing very well, but surprisingly, as a transmitter, it did not cut at all. Even when we had another transmission system from another company, and we're not going to name names, running on the FX3 next to the YOLO box, it started cutting because of the amount of interference that we had at the church. There were a ton of wireless microphones, we have screens, we have a lot of speakers, and we have the wireless connection between the camera and the YOLO box. This is day 5 of trying this device as a transmitter, as a receiver, and as a monitor, and it never flinched. So now we're going to try out if it will cut the connection or not. This camera is connected through the CineView Master 4K Lite to the YOLO box. And this is the feed, and this is Sherbel. Hi Sherbel. He's our videographer today. And I'm going to go outside and he's going to view the YOLO box. Now we are on the back of the church. Sherbel is all the way over there. And we're going to go out to the street. I'm going to change all the settings to adjust them accordingly. And now we are literally in the street. This is the church. This is the church name. We are in the street. I hope that this is not cutting before my microphone. I'm using the Rode Wireless Pro right now, and we're going to change the settings on the go. In to the church, and here is Sherbet. Sherbet is going to tell us if the camera at any point cut off. Did it cut off at any point?
No.
Even when I was shooting IKEA?
Yes.
So this was the connection test. So I can trust this monitor, I can trust this transmission system to work if we are going to shoot anything outside, because there are some services that we hold outside and we go in and there's like a whole ceremony. So I can trust the M7H Pro to transmit the image very clearly without any cutoffs to the YOLO box and keep the stream going onto Facebook and YouTube. Other than streaming live events, I usually use it as a solo creator to monitor myself. I took it to an outdoor set in direct sunlight because I wanted to see how bright it is and how is it going to perform in the heat, because we live in Dubai and it's hot in the morning, and how it will react when recording internally. I was using the 70-180. We were trying the lens actually for the review. You can watch it up here. And I couldn't see myself if I put the monitor on top of the camera. I used the CineView Master 4K Lite on top of the FX3 and transmitted the image to the monitor, which worked as the receiver. So I held the monitor with my hands and started walking. The footage that came out was really usable. And I also wanted to use it as a safety because I use my ZVE1 and it has only one SD card. So this is a lifesaver for me. You can also use it for proxies if you want to make like a 1080p version of your recording and send it to your editors. And I actually thought for a minute that this might overheat, but it didn't at all. And the fan cooled down the monitor and it kept running at the same temperature. Now, who should buy this monitor and who shouldn't? If you're a solo operator, if you shoot documentaries, if you shoot events like I do, this is one of the most important tools that you'll have in your kit. Is it going to be my main monitor? Yes, this is my new main monitor that I'll be using for the next couple of years, I guess. But I don't have these connected at all times. Unless I want to transmit something, I'm not connecting these antennas because I am afraid that they will break. And I think these kinds of monitors that have wireless transmission, live streaming, and running on Android systems should be the industry standard. At the end, I just want to say, if you need the gear, invest in good ones. And I think all of the features and all of the tests proves that the M7 and M7 Pro are one of the greatest monitors in the market right now. And this was my review for the Accsoon M7H Pro. Thanks to Accsoon for sponsoring this video and sending all of these out to try it, and for making great tech for us filmmakers and creators. If you like this video, please hit the thumbs up, subscribe to the channel if you're not already, and comment down below what you want to know about next, and I'll see you in the next one.